Do you hate ads? I hate ads. You know what I love? Patreon.com/inkdependence, where patrons get access to a patron-only Discord, ad-free videos, and the joy of knowing they help support this channel. Welcome everybody. This is a type of video I haven't done in a minute. It's been actually months and months. I just keep putting it off and I don't know why. But these are second takes. So these videos, in case you haven't seen them before, are videos in which I talk about some of the stuff that I've gotten, some of the stuff that I've been using over time. Oftentimes I'll post things that are like unboxings or reviews and that sort of stuff, but sometimes things don't need a full review. Sometimes I just wanted to show you like what I've got currently inked, or like what I've inked up in the last month or so, or like what ballpoint I've really been enjoying, or what fountain pens are like on my desk right at the moment, or other stuff. I don't know, glue tape, like whatever the weird thing is that doesn't fit in its own entire video, I kind of put in these second take videos. So if there's something you'd like me to talk about in a second takes video, let me know. But oftentimes these are things that I've just been using right now, and it's kind of my immediate impressions, and so you know, it's a little bit of everything. So stick around. Hopefully you see some stuff that's in here that you like, or maybe I can steer you away from something if it's bad, but that's what these are for. And if you're familiar with second takes videos, hey, welcome back. I told you I'd do them again eventually. So let's get rolling. Okay, let's take a look at some of the things that I've put on my list. I made this long list. We'll kind of see how it goes. I'm going to talk about stuff that I've been getting into recently, some new things I've been using, trends I've been seeing in my own usage, and then like talk about the pens that I have inked in the last month or so, and also the stuff that I cleaned this weekend, because I don't know, it's kind of like a interesting bookend. So let's kind of get going. First thing is that I've been carrying this to school with me for the last 3 weeks. This is from Galen Leather Co., and this is one of their zip folios. This is the big thick zip folio. The other one that I had from them was only about this big. This has this whole bunch of extra space here, and you'll notice there's not a book in here right now, and that's because I just took it out. I've been carrying this for a while, and it's actually super good. It's maybe replacing too many things. I'm not really sure. When I was talking to Eunice at Galen about this at the DC show, this is, by the way, a North American exclusive color. It's a gorgeous chocolatey brown. This is meant for people who are doing a lot of journaling and that sort of thing, and their journals just like keep getting thicker, right? So Hobonichis and all that sort of thing. I mean, heck, my commonplace book, you can easily see where I am in this commonplace book, right? Like these are nice compact pages. These are pages that are stuck with stickers and washi tape and ink and who knows what else, right? So it just kind of keeps getting bigger as you go, and maybe this ends up living in here or something. It has plenty of room for even this large Cosmo Airlight book, which, I mean, I guess I shouldn't be surprised. This is actually a Galen Leather book too, but I don't know, then I'd lose my back cover. I don't know, I'm a little bit torn, but taking this to school, it takes up a fair amount of my backpack space, and I've been using or trying to use smaller backpacks lately, and so that's been taking up a lot of space. The other thing it does is that it gives me 4 pens here and then these two, and these have just been kind of living in here. This is a Uniball Zento, which is a gel rollerball hybrid situation, and then this one is a Zebra Blend, which is like a silent writing ballpoint with an emulsion ink refill that I really like. Those have been kind of living in here because it's a good space for them, and also I'll take my Apple Pencil and put it down through the middle here, and this can totally hold all that stuff. And then this, I'll put some fountain pens in and that sort of thing, and then I stick stuff in the little, insides and all that jazz. But I also really want to carry my rickshaw cases and my other Galen, hard side cases and things like that as pen cases. I like carrying those, and they're kind of smaller and take up a bit less space. So I'm going to switch over to another one that has been out of my rotation for a little bit, but this is a really cool case, and I'm going to figure out a way to use it because I do really like this thing. So here's what I'm switching to. And that's this one. This is from, actually, does it have a mark on the inside? Is it over here? Yeah, Coal Creek Leather. Right there, Coal Creek Leather. I got this, man, I think I got this at the San Francisco Pen Show. It was pre-pandemic. It's been a while on this one, and so you can see it's like picked up the marks of use, from here where you carry, you see like little sort of grease spots, hand oil spots, I should say, not really grease, then like scratches and scuffs and all that jazz that leather picks up, but I've always loved the feel of this leather. It's just like thick and luxurious and kind of awesome, and it lays out nice and flat on my desk. The other thing that this one doesn't do, because it is thick, is it's got to like lay on this spine here, and so it's always a little bit open, and on my desk at work. I don't love that, so this is it's got a couple of things about it that I'm a little nitpicky about, but it's a great case anyway. But this one just carries what I need. It's just got the one notebook that I'm using for this class, which is admittedly a little bit on the thick side. I probably should have used a thinner one, but c'est la vie. I'm not sure where I got this notebook either. It doesn't have any markings on it of any kind. I don't know what the paper is. I got nothing. Notebook ruled. I just don't know anything. Hey, anybody have a notebook ruled and know what this is? It might have come from Papermind. It might have come from a nice viewer who sent this to me. I don't know. I literally don't know where it came from, but this is what I decided to use for classes right now, so it's what's going in here. But this is a nice A5 situation, and I like the feel of it. Oh, I gotta move this over. There we go. And then I also have this little Midori, or sorry, yeah, it is a Traveler's Notebook. Traveler's sticky note set right here. So I'll just kind of like do this, and then I can write sticky notes and write notes and stuff, that sort of thing for my classes, and I think it'll work out pretty well. But we'll see. I just made this trade like today. It has this like extra bit here where I could make this go out, but then it would kind of fall out of the notebook, so I don't usually. But this let me put this in here, which is pretty neat. I'm not sure what this slit is for at the end of the day, but it's working really well for this Traveler's Notebook thing if I can get it right back. There we go. And then I can just close it up. So pretty good. I've got my fun facts list and all that sort of thing, some extra Post-its, that sort of jazz. But I think that's going to be what I go for a little bit, because it's smaller, more compact, and we'll see how it goes. I don't know. I'll let you know in another video how this change has worked out. Another thing is that I've been doing is during my Twitch streams, which are twice a week on Tuesday and Thursday from noon to 2. I've got a points redemption thing in there that'll say, hey, draw something, and then whoever pulls that can ask me to draw a thing. Today it was a whale shark with some pilot fish that was redeemed by our friend Becky and determined by my wife Audrey. I put a little note on there, and I'll send that to Becky here soon. But I've sent all the rest of them out. This is the only one I have to show, and it's not my best one. I don't know. Maybe I'll try to like surreptitiously make it a little better before I send it. I don't really know, but I think it's a fun thing to do, and it's kind of pushing me in, to be a little bit more artistic. Audrey, my wife, has gotten way into watercolors. I tried watercolor and immediately hated it. It's just not my medium. I just don't like it. It just rubbed me all the wrong way. But I would like to have some kind of artistic ability, and so I've been practicing a little bit of sketching. So I decided to do that, which brings me to my next thing, which is I've kind of gotten into pencils lately. I know it burns to say it a little bit. I got into Blackwing pencils a while ago, and I've always had one or two like mechanical pencils around, but I've gotten more of those in recent months. So I got these from the Gentleman Stationery. This is a high quality Tombow 2558B, which is actually what I drew that whale shark in, and let me sort of smear it around because it's a soft lead. And then I've got this Kuratoga, which I've had for a few years, and I really like the Kuratogas. I think it's a great mechanical pencil. It keeps your lead kind of even and I don't know, sort of conical and pointed, because every time you touch it to the paper, it rotates it just a little bit. As you can see, this little white thing right here just like goes through. And just like make sure so your lead's round and not slanted. I like that. Then I got this one just for funsies to try it out. This is a Ticonderoga mechanical pencil that doesn't have any way to advance the lead except for writing with it. It works kind of the same way as the little spinny thing did in the other one. When you press it in just a little bit, every time you touch the paper, it just like advances the lead just a little bit. It's really interesting, but it's okay. Then my dad sent me this one, which is a Write in the Rain, and I really like sketching with this one too. This is a big 1.3 millimeter graphite stick. In fact, there's one stick of graphite in here, and it is this long. It is as long as the pencil. So I think every time you replace it, you just replace the one lead, which is pretty amazing. But it's got a lot of weight right here. It's very wide up at the tip and gives me the ability to sketch kind of roughly without it looking too bad. So I really enjoyed that. And I also have this one, which I just found in my drawer, and I kind of had forgotten about, but this is a 1.9 millimeter sumo grip Sakura. So that's a fun one too. I've been enjoying that. So I've got a few more as well over there, but I've really kind of gotten into pencils lately. Not in a hugely deep way, but I've really been trying out a lot of mechanical pencils and that sort of thing, and just sort of seeing how they work in my workflow. And because somebody asked about erasers in one of the streams I was watching today, this is the one I've been using, which is this Musgrave pencil eraser. I really like this one. It works really well. It doesn't make a huge amount of dust, but it erases very cleanly. I dig it. I've also got this one to say Sumiko Gurashi. It was allegedly blueberry scented, but it's kind of older, and I had to like actually rub off the corners because it does that thing when erasers get a little bit old and it has like a film on the outside, kind of. You got to rub through it. I don't know, it's oxidized or something, and it doesn't smell like. No blueberry scent left anymore, unfortunately. But I mostly use this one for drawings and this one for just random stuff because it's a little bit, it's not as good an eraser. All right, so pencils. Who knew that I would ever get into pencils? Here's another thing that I will show you that I've just kind of gotten into, and it is super good. This is a stapler, obviously, but this is a super good stapler. I got this because it was on the stationery award winners list, and if you haven't watched that video, go watch that video. It's got all kinds of weird stuff in it, including this thing, which is a Vaimo 11 Max. These are... Apparently Max is actually an American company. This is made in Thailand, and I found out about it through a Japanese website. I forget who it was, but was it Bungu or it was one of those stores gave this like their personal store award. And I was like, I got to try that. This thing will punch through like 25 or 30 sheets of paper, depending on paper weight. In fact, some places I've seen it advertised as 30, and other places that are more like America-based, I forget where I had to go to get this. I want to say I had to go to Amazon, but I'm sure you can find them other places elsewhere in the world. But I think there it said 30 pages, and last time I went back and looked, it said 25. And actually, in my testing, it'll go through about 28 with no problem. And that's like regular like American copy paper stuff, the 20 pounds. So it's pretty good, and it does it just effortlessly. It's kind of amazing. So yeah, get yourself an awesome stapler. It's not wildly expensive or anything, but it's really, really good, and I like a good stapler. All right, here's a couple other things before I get into fountain pens, and one is I've gotten some really interesting ballpoints recently. So this is the Kolo Tino ballpoint, which I got as sort of a thank you from Kolo Tino for doing the review on the fountain pen version. And I thought when I was doing that review that I was going to dislike the fountain pen version and really like the ballpoint version. And I think it turns out I actually like the fountain pen version more. It's just a little bit longer because of the way the nib is and that sort of thing, and it feels a little bit better to use. But this is a really interesting little pocket pen, and I love a pocket pen. I like the sort of, industrial nature of this thing. It does have a little bit of a sharp edge in a couple of places. You can kind of see where it transitions from a straight edge down to a curve. Like I wish that was a little bit rounded off, because every once in a while I'll catch an edge on them and be like, well, that could be more comfortable, especially down here when it's sitting on the bottom of my finger and doing writing. But this is a really nice little pen, and I like the mechanism in here. I think it's interesting. It's got a cool look. Just, interesting situation here. So that's a fun ballpoint, and it's kind of newish on the market. You've probably seen videos about them. They seem to be all over the place now. The other one, and I just got this at the DC Pen Show, this is the Leuchtturm Drehgriffel. This is not one that you can buy, I don't think, on the market, but they had sort of a create your own Drehgriffel stand. Also, sorry about all the little red spots on my hand. I was doing some yard work, and I got stabbed by a lot of thorns, like kind of all over. I think I might be allergic to it or something, because I don't know, my skin's not liking it. But sorry about that. Hope it's not too distracting. But I got this Drehgriffel, and this is one that I made. I picked out the barrel and the ends and the refill and all that jazz, and they put it all together for you. So I think that's really nice. And these are an interesting price point. They're in the like 25 or 30 buck range, I believe. But it's a really it's a nice twisty end here. It's got like a very snappy feeling. You can actually see my fingers kind of snap. Doing that over there. It's really interesting feeling, and it has this kind of pencil-y look. In fact, my friend Mark Backus made one that looks a lot like a pencil. He realized has like an end on the back that kind of looks like a pencil eraser, and it was a really interesting pen he made there. But this is a really comfortable little pen to use. It's slim. It'll fit in your planners and your purse or whatever, and it's a ballpoint, so it's not going to bleed all over everything. And it'll write reliably on all kinds of stuff. So yeah, really neat. I think that's cool. And also things like this from Tactile Turn. This is a blue Ultem pen, which I love Ultem. It's usually kind of either black or sort of an iced tea kind of yellow color, I guess. But this is blue, and it's light, it's strong, it feels really nice in the hand, and I think that's pretty great. It's also thicker than the usual pens they make. When they do them in these plastics, they make them a little bit wider, and I like that because I have big hands. This is the current pen. I haven't done a video on this yet, and I need to. But this is the current pen, the seasonal pen from Tactile Turn. This is called the All-Star. It has a nice star on the finial, and you can customize the clips for the first time. So you can get it done with your favorite baseball player. This is kind of a baseball-themed thing. Some people see this as like a bat, like the wood grain on a bat. To me, it kind of looks like the scuffs and like dirt marks on a baseball after it's been chucked around a while, which I kind of like. I just think it's a really interesting pattern that they've done in the Cerakote here. It's really pretty, I think. And of course, I had him engrave Nolan Ryan on there. He's our hometown guy. He used to live in the town I grew up in. He was kind of like our claim to fame, essentially, in our hometown. So I had him do that. And so that's a really nice little bolt action. This will be available until the end of September. So you've got a month left to get your hands on one of these, at least at the time of this recording. So, check that out. Okay, let's get into some fountain pens. And one thing I want to say is I've gotten into a lot of like slip cap sorts of fountain pens recently, and some of those, like the Diplomat Aero, nobody will be surprised about. I've gotten a few Aeros this summer just because I really like the Aero. I can't fall out of love with this thing. It's just a great pen, and I really like kind of everything about the Aero. It's a great weight, it's a great feel in the hand, the nibs are always awesome, but it's got this great slip cap that feels like it's a magnet or something, but just isn't. It just feels really good. And then I got this one recently as well. This is a bit of an extravagance. This is the ST Dupont Line D Large Firehead Guilloche or something. I think there's a couple more words in there, but this is the other great slip cap on the market. The ST Dupont and the Diplomat Aero, as well as the Pilot Prero. We got to sneak them in there. But the great slip caps, and just writes beautifully, feels amazing. Looks fantabulous. Look at that guilloche underneath all that lacquer. It's a really awesome pen, and I got this as a doorbuster price, so I really like this. Another slip cap pen. Now, another thing that I've gotten recently is more slip caps, but these are magnetic. So magnetic caps have always been something that I thought was cool. And there are some companies that do it really well, mostly gel pens and roller balls and that sort of thing. Spoke has some slip caps that are really awesome. But often with fountain pens, slip caps have been a bit of a problem because they don't seal well and your pen dries out all the time. And I noticed that the Monteverde Ritma, which is one that's a few years old at this point, has this it's like pops when you pull the cap off because it's like such a tight seal, and that is legitimately very good. These are two more that I've gotten very recently. In fact, I got them the same day. I got them in the same place. I bought both of these at Truffet. Go visit them. I paid my own money for them, and you can too. This is the Stilform Fountain Pen, which is a German fountain pen, and it is very nice. I'm usually a little dubious about Bach nibs, but this has been great. It writes beautifully. It feels nice in the hand, and the slip cap is very good. I like that you can kind of put it on sideways like this, and it will flip to the right orientation. And if it gets off a little bit, apparently there's a tool you can use to just twist the magnet bit in there so that it will be it'll align itself. Actually, mine is a little bit. Oh, it's getting a little bit off to the side. Nope, that's perfect. I think it's fine. But you can just like alter that if it gets a little bit out of whack. But this is really good. It's got this flat side, so it's nice. It doesn't roll away, even on my slightly uneven desk. And it has not dried up even a little bit, which is impressive. The other one is this. This is a Visconti Mythos. It's actually the only Visconti that I have currently. And I got it because I wanted to try out the magnetic cap thing, and also I just thought it was beautiful. This is the Persephone version. There's also one, what is it, Demeter, I want to say, is an orange one that I'm really tempted by. But this has a great magnetic cap as well, and it has like these two little ears right here that will make it go into the right place when you put it on there. It's a nice connection. It's tight. It's firm. It doesn't twist because of those ears. The clip is like really nice. These are all good clips, and it also doesn't dry out at all. I was really impressed by this. I am almost out of ink, but that's because this is a very wet broad nib. It drinks ink, man. I got to refill this. Is it totally empty? Oh yeah, I was about to run out. I am on the dregs. But this thing really drinks ink because of the broad nib on here. It is quite a wet broad nib. It is a really nice nib to write with, and I think these are actually these are Schmidt nibs, which I'm not surprised. I mean, Schmidt nibs have been really good. They're on like Benus and things like that. They've been excellent. So magnetic caps, slip caps, weird little ballpoints. I've been getting into those kind of things lately. So let's take a look at some of the things that I have put ink in. This is my Galen Leather Co. Everyday book. This is old school Tomoe River, and I'm just gonna do the last like month or so because I haven't done one of these videos in a long time. These second chance videos, or second takes rather. So I have, let's see, what do I want to start with? We can start, oh man, April. I haven't done a lot of these, but whatever. We'll start kind of here. So this is that ROM, that Diplomat Aero ROM, the super shiny one. And this is a fine nib, and it has the new Girbon Iris Sagace, I guess, which is a really pretty, slightly bluish purple. Then the Stilform, which when I got it, the nib was actually a little bit tight, and so it was making it look very dry, like kind of pale. This is a Stilform ink as well. But I had Audrey open up the nib just a little bit. She adjusted it just like, I mean, she looked at it and tweaked it just a tiny bit, and now it writes perfectly, which is really nice. And it shows off the ink much more, much nicer. Then we've got here the TWSBI Eco Slate Blue and Onyx, which we'll see here in a little bit. And I had Robert Oster and Atlas Hollywood's Mullet in here. I think it was pretty good. It was a little bit on the light side from this broad nib, but that might just be a sort of an artifact of the nib, or it might just be it's a light brown. But I've actually cleaned that one out now. Pen Cove Muscle, that's what's in here, which is a really interesting ink that will kind of like be a slightly different color when you put on different papers. But Pen Cove Muscle has been really nice to write with. This is from The Wet Pen. Go check them out. Then we've got Sailor King of Pen 3 Tiers. That one's right here actually. And this is inked up with an ink that made me buy a bunch of inks from, actually, I organized a whole group buy with some friends for So-and-So, which is a stationery place out in Australia where we can't get mail from right now, thanks. But this is Hoja Ink Studios Chinese Gold Thread, and I mean, look at that ink. That is just one of the coolest multi-chromes I've ever seen, and it is really nice in this pen. So I don't have any regrets. This is the TWSBI Eco Heat, which has Robert Oster and Atlas Sidewalk gum in there. Really nice gray ink with purple or pink shimmer. Then we've got the Shown Design in Shishiko, which is with Custom Nib Studio. My friends Ian and Gina came together to make this pen, which is right here. And this is a gorgeous black Ultem pen with this Sashiko engraving in it. Every one of these little crosses is unique to each pen. They're all in slightly different places, orientations, spacing, shapes. It's very interesting what Ian has done with that. And I really love this pen. And this has Sailor Marzen Hiroshima Seka, which is a really interesting ink. This is like one you can only buy if you go to that store. A friend of mine went to Japan and brought this back for me because it has a bivalve on it. Also, it's a rad brown. Then I've got my Sailor Innova TI Fine with Sailor Yuki Usagi. I guess. I'm sure I'm not saying that quite right, but that's a really interesting ink that will be either kind of like green or blue-black or even metallic looking on different papers. It's kind of wild. Then I have Sailor Kiwaguro in this extra large Trinity pen from Sailor. I've got this Benno Briolette, which is a little pocket pen. My wife actually has that at work, I think, right now. But that's Tom Studio Raspberry Sorbet, really bright pink. My Arc Layer pen, which I don't have handy, but I will definitely be doing a video on this, is a really cool 3D printed DNA Helix pen with the franklin-christoph DC25 ink in there. Then I've got a Bennu Tessera, which is a brand new pen coming out soon. Looks like this. This is the ribbon turquoise version, and it's got an elastic fine. So this actually has a Yovo nib in it instead of the usual Schmidt. Writes really nicely, of course. Those are cool elastic nibs. That has Color Traveler's Hiroshima Signature Dish. I forget what the name of this dish is, but it's apparently a signature dish of Hiroshima. Man, I'm stumbling over words. Which has like a shimmer in it. It's got like a green shimmer, which I think is meant to be reminiscent of nori flakes. Really kind of interesting. And then my SU Dupont Line D Graphite Gray large firehead Guilloche. It's got a million names. With Schaefer Script Blue. That's the new Schaefer Script ink, and I really like it. And only a couple more. The Bennu Talisman here with the Mandrake one with Van Diemen's Nightfall, and then another Bennu. I just got a couple of Bennus at the same time. Well, 3 Bennus more or less at the same time, so I filled those up. But Last Light and Nightfall are from the Natura Dualis series from Van Diemen's, and they're all like duo shaders, dual chromes or whatever. So we've got like purple and pink, and we've got green, blue, and purple, and like really interesting colors coming together. Next up is a Skogsy low volume eyedropper, which has a lot of ink in it. It's just low volume for an eyedropper. This is Esterbrook and Coffee Monsters Co. Forgotten Ice Coffee, which is much paler than I thought it was going to be. It might be that nib is a little bit on the drier side, and you had that opened up a little bit for me to really like that, but it's a little bit on the pale side. I was hoping for more color. I don't know. I'm going to work on that one. And then lastly, I just inked this up just the other day. This is a Platinum 3776 Compo with a soft medium nib with Diamine Forever Tiger Lily. This is the third of the Forever inks that I've gotten. These are pigmented inks from Diamine. They're a new thing, and they're really good. Let's see. I have the other two. Over here. I have Butterscotch and Smoky Mauve. I want to put this one in a pen with a much wetter nib because this is a little bit on the dry side. I was just doing some testing with these for a very particular project, so I'm going to ink both of them up again. But they are really nice as well and super waterproof, which is really interesting. I wasn't expecting them to be as waterproof as they are. I haven't tested this one yet, but I will soon. So I'm going to ink this up like literally a day or so ago. But gorgeous kind of corally orangey red color. It's real great. So yeah, that's what I've inked up. Real briefly, I want to show you some of the things that I have uninked because, I mean, why not, right? Now, what I tend to do is I have a bin over here next to me that I just fill up with pens that need to be cleaned, and then once it gets full, I'll either clean them or I'll put them in another bin. But like whatever, there's a little bit of overflow here, and so I got real busy the last couple of days while Audrey was out of town at the San Francisco show, and I cleaned a bunch of pens. This is 12, 13, 14, 15, 17-ish. There were also some random nibs and some converters and some other things I cleaned as well, but these are most of them. I have some TWSBIs because I love a TWSBI Eco. These were using all kinds of shimmer inks mostly in these. This is a Diplomat Excellence A+, which is a fantastic pen. It's kind of like the Excellence A, but has a screw cap, maybe a couple of other differences. This beautiful Leonardo Hades from Endless Pens that I had for a while. This one I let dry up with a very, very shimmery ink in it. It was a big pain to get clean. This is the original Model J from the new Esterbrook. These are all ebonite. Really like this thing. This is a Shown Design shell pen. This is black Ultem and then titanium, and then it's anodized. And in this I have a really nice architect nib done by my friend Annabelle, strings and pedals, and it has my little dog Scraggles on the nib. So that's a really fun special pen. Really like that. We have a couple of Lamis over here, a 2000 and an Edios. The only reason I cleaned this one out is I have two Lamy 2000s, and they look more or less the same. This one's like a little shinier because it's older, and so it's gotten like worn smooth a little bit. But they're fine and extra fine, and they both had really dark inks in them. And I was like, I can't tell which ink I'm using. I'm cleaning this one out, whichever one it is. So I'll have to re-ink that ink just so I can use it more, so I can review it or whatever. But this is a great pen. I just wish you could tell what nibs they were on the outside. You can't even tell by looking at the thing. Like, I don't know, put it down here, engrave it somewhere, give me something, or put a sticker on it, right? All right, then this is the Edios, which I don't know if they're going to make anymore. It's really hard to find, but I actually really like the Edios. It's a great pen. It's fun to use. I like the sort of like water droplet shape to it and the off-kilter clip. Really cool. This one is a special Platinum 3776 that my wife got, and I don't remember what it was for. Maybe somebody in the comments will remember, or I'll remember to ask her and she can just tell me. But this is a really fun. It's got this butterfly on the nib. Real pretty. This is a franklin-christoph model 19 with special custom acrylic and some aluminum bands. That's also Audrey's. This is a Kara's Vertex, which is a nice little pen. I like this little guy. Nice orange Cerakote, which I did chip. You can chip Cerakote if you do it just right, unfortunately. A pair of little Galen leather Kaweco Sports that I had written dry. The Sailor Tuzu, which I've done video on recently. And then lastly, the Endless Captiva, which is this weird little captive converter pen that you can fill or empty with this little knob. It's fun. I liked this pen. I think it's pretty cool. And for the price point, it was like $50 or something. That's a really nice little pen for that. I think it's interesting, and it writes well and looks cool. So yeah, there you go. So those are things that I have inked up and also things that I have uninked in the last month or so. And yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video, maybe even learned a thing or two. I don't know, but let me know what kind of things you'd like to see me talk about in other videos like this. They're going to be, probably about this kind of length and probably about this kind of format. I know it's longer, but I don't know, it's nice to listen to and have on while you're doing dishes or whatever. I don't know. So one more thing. I got this I got this like 2 days ago from Crazy Allen's Emporium, our local pen shop. This is from Snifty, and it is an erasable fountain pen. It's got this like weird little section on it, which reminds me of a Lambatu or something like that. But it writes with a particular blue ink cartridge, and then just like the Pilot friction pens, you can erase it with this little silicone knob on the end. It's really interesting, and it writes really well, I think. I've only used it a couple of times because I just put ink in it last night. So I don't know. I love the retro color scheme. I think this is cool. It's like $15. I hope this ends up being really good, because then I can say, hey, go get this weird erasable fountain pen. It's kind of neat. Sometimes you might want to write with a fountain pen, but also erase it sometimes. Pretty cool. All right, that's it. I'm gonna let y'all go. Get out there, make the world a better place, and I will see you, or you'll see me, in another video very soon. Until then, think about what you put out in the world and make it a better place. Peace out, everybody. Watch out for thorn bushes.